What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Not That Problematic, the podcast. And on this episode, we're talking about sports, mostly basketball and football, because those are really the only two sports that count. And I have a special guest here. If you hear dinging in the background, as y'all know, every episode I have some type of notification going off on my computer. This week is nothing different, but I'm gonna let my special guest introduce himself and take it away.
What it is, everybody, it's your boy Richie Monster, aka Monster Big Boss, man. You already know this is not Honey in the Monster podcast. This is actually not that problematic. You feel me? I had to catch myself. I'm thinking I'm on my own shit. You feel me? Or maybe even sports vibes. But anyways, how y'all doing, man? Listen, just a quick little rundown. Obviously, anything sports, basketball, football related, that's me. That's what I love to do. That is actually how I met your lovely host, Brystal. Y'all niggas know her as Brystal, right? I know her as Brystal Burton. You feel me? It was different back then. You feel me?
She not
On
the
that,
same.
exactly on that cold, lonely Afghanistan night when I said, "Listen, I'm going to be your combatives instructor, okay?"
Uh,
And ever since then, she was like, listen, I'm a Lakers and I'm a 49ers fan. And I said, fuck both of those teams, actually, because that's when, what I'm saying, the 49ers was coming off their little high, just making the Super Bowl, the whole Colin Kaepernick, John Harbaugh era, you feel me? So y'all was okay. Y'all was okay. And I was just upset because my Jags were nowhere, you know what I'm
Evan,
saying? Exactly.
trash.
Calm down.
Just
Calm down.
y'all.
We was just in the AFC Championship game 4 years ago, so calm down.
Just 4 years ago.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I
listen,
think
some
the
people ain't been
Niners
there
weren't the Niners in the Super Bowl
in 2013,
last year.
2012. Oh no! Oh well, last year. Yes,
Last
yes, of course.
year,
That is
I
true.
thought so.
That is true.
I thought so. I thought
That is true. Listen,
maybe
but
it's
you
recency
lost.
bias. I thought so. I'm
But
sorry.
you
What happened?
lost. But you
Did y'all make the
lost.
playoffs? Did y'all make the playoffs last year? So
No,
who
we did
lost
not.
first? Who lost first?
Nigga,
Okay.
what?
Okay. That's okay.
If we
Okay.
both not holding the trophy at the end of the year, what does it matter?
You didn't even get to compete for the trophy though. That's what I'm saying.
That's
He was not
hurtful.
even eligible to compete for the trophy, is what I'm saying. We're
All
getting
right.
into it.
Well,
I'm
listen,
just
you didn't
saying.
invite. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you didn't invite me on here to talk about me and shit. You're not gonna talk about me on this podcast. You feel me? But yeah, man, you know the vibes. But listen, I'm here, man. Listen, I'm ready. You feel me? This is
That's
fun.
that's what's up. Moss said we met in Afghanistan. He was my
Mm,
combatives instructor.
I was.
For those of y'all that don't know what combatives is, it's basically like UFC Army Edition. Honestly,
Exactly.
like
And,
you learn grappling hooks, you learn
mm,
what else
all
you
types
learn?
of all types of
Holds,
takes,
folds,
takedowns,
takedowns, like all types
all
of shit.
types of
So
shit.
I be telling y'all, don't fuck with me because I
Nah,
will listen. I don't like to
listen.
fight, but a
Nah,
bitch
that
is
is
trained.
listen.
I
That
can
is
do the
fact.
things. I can do the things, and I'm good
That
at
is
it. So yeah, and then combatives, I guess technically is a sport.
technically,
They have
technically,
competitions
that
and
is true.
different things like that. And yeah, like ever since then, Moss was like, he was shocked. He was like, dang, like for like a woman, you know a lot
You
about sports.
Yeah, facts. And
Like
now, and let me just caveat: it doesn't have anything to do with being a woman, but from my personal experience, when it comes to women who, like, for example, who are not necessarily that's their job, like for example, like a Jamel Hill or like a Carrie Champion, like
your
I
girl.
expect exactly my girl Carrie Champion, her fine ass, or like a Molly Karam, like women who are in the business, like that's their job. Of course, I expect them to know about sports, but you were kind of like the first woman that I met that was just like, you're just a regular
Into
civilian
it. Yeah.
that knew in depth. Like a lot of women say, oh yeah, like I like football. I like, oh well, who's the start? Who's your favorite team? Oh, well, I like the Steelers. Who's the starting quarterback? I don't know. Like, well, if that's your team, you would know the starting
You
quarterback.
at
But
least you gotta know the basics.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, you knew a lot more in depth. Like I've actually called you, especially when it comes to your Lakers, because I think you do like football, but I think you're more well versed in basketball, from
Oh
my
yeah, I'm
personal
passionate
opinion.
about
Yeah,
basketball. Super
exactly.
passionate.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Super passionate. So I've called you plenty of times, you know what I'm saying? Like, after a game and stuff like that. Yo, Bert, you watching this? Or you'll text me like, you see my boy, you know what I'm saying? So we've always had like that sports like connection thing. You feel
Yeah,
me? And like I
definitely.
said, you were just a little bit more than, you know what I'm saying, like your woman. Like some females, I don't care. I don't watch. I'd be like, okay, cool. You
Like
know what I'm
purple
saying?
and gold don't even match.
Yeah, like
But no, I'm
like
different. Like my first I come from a family of Los Angeles Laker fans, being that my
okay.
dad's side of the family is from, you know what I'm saying, California or whatever.
Mm,
Specifically Oxnard, but then he like spent his early adulthood in LA. So they're all Laker fans. And so I've been
mm-hmm.
going to Laker games since I was like a kid, like
Of
8,
course.
9, 10, 11 years old. So, and my grandparents been having like season tickets for forever. Like I was at Laker games when the Lakers played in the Forum. Like I'm not
Mm.
new.
Not new
I'm
to
not new
this.
to the shit.
Yeah, you're true
And
to this.
so, with that being said, let's get into speaking of the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a dive into why I told you that the Anthony Davis trade was a mistake by the Los Angeles Lakers. Now I know
Okay.
we just came off. I know we just came off of a championship, and
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis played a crucial part. I'm not saying that the man is not a quality basketball player. What I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is that my prediction of him getting hurt in the middle of the season,
Mm-hmm.
like he always does in the last, I don't know how long he's been in the league, 6, 7 years. AD been in the
So
league 6, 7.
I would say about honestly I think this might be his 8th year, because I think he came out in 2012. Because if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken, that's when
Okay.
Kentucky won the championship and he was on that
Yeah.
team. So
Okay. So with that being said, since 2007, since 2012, the man has not played a complete season of basketball from the time that he was with the Pelicans
mhm.
to last season, because you can't even count last season because that technically was not a complete season. So what
That's a
I say
fact.
still reigns true. So a couple of weeks ago, he took 3 games off
Mm-hmm.
because his Achilles was bothering him. Last night, with like a few minutes left in the
Achilles
second
tendonitis.
quarter,
Mm-hmm.
he makes a move, goes by I think it was Joker, and yeah, Joker like jumped past him. His leg did something crazy, and he was out the game, and we lost by like 20 something points.
Well, so yes, again, so let me be the first to say you have said that since the AD trade, and I said, you're absolutely right. So about last year, remember, you had a 4-month span in the
A
season
whole
where
break, a
exactly
whole
where they
break.
where they
Yeah.
didn't play. So what I will say is that I hear I hear your concerns, but if I'm gonna be honest with you, I think you guys are gonna be okay. Reason being is because you still have the best player in the NBA on
Oh,
your
I,
team. One and two, yeah, and two. I would rather, or excuse me. First off, I hate the fucking Lakers, so let me just put that out there to anybody. I can't stand the fucking Lakers. To talk good about them hurts my soul.
you have
But
to though, because
anyways,
of LeBron. You
I
can't talk
fucking
bad
hate
about
the
them because of
I
LeBron.
hate the Lakers. But with that being said, if AD is gonna miss time, this is probably the time he should miss
Perfect time.
now, so
Yeah.
that he'll be ready for the playoffs again. Remember, this is a very different season. You know what I'm saying? A lot of back-to-backs, a lot of multiple games within a week, and they're only playing 72 games. So it's just like I understand it, but I would rather him, if I was a Lakers fan, be hurt now so that he'll be better for the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Maybe that's what
Mm,
AD needs. He needs
as
a
a
break.
Laker fan, I'd rather him not be hurt. So like,
Mhm.
but Stefan made a good point.
Of course, of
Like,
course.
last night we were watching the game. Um, Stefan said
Mhm.
like, being that tall,
Yeah,
you can't
yeah,
help but have lower body issues. The
yeah.
man is what,
Facts.
7'1", 7'2", like he's so
Well,
tall.
yeah, 6'11", yeah, exactly, 7 foot. Yeah, it's tough because the only big man to really not have problems like that was probably, I mean, Kareem. Honestly, that's the only big man I
And
could
we
think
and
that
we
didn't
just
have
don't know. We don't
exactly,
know.
exactly
We
because
weren't
we weren't.
there.
Exactly. But he did get hurt in that first finals. Remember Magic Johnson's rookie year, and that's when Magic, took over and stuff. Game 6, he played center. So big men seem to always get hurt. But
Yeah.
I just think Anthony Davis, you know what I'm saying, was good for y'all. That's what y'all need. Now, I won't lie to you. Moving forward, though, especially after this season, with a lot of the shakeup that I foresee seeing in the NBA, y'all probably gonna need somebody else. Y'all gonna need
Yeah.
like another like star to kind of take over. You know what I'm saying? As LeBron kind of, again,
Drifts. Yeah. Obviously, LeBron's not
yeah,
declining, but I get what you're
exactly. Yeah,
saying.
yeah, exactly. You're not trying to be disrespectful to LeBron because the
Ever.
LeBron guys, but not trying to be disrespectful to LeBron. But as LeBron, slowly but surely passes the torch and stuff like that, I think you guys are definitely gonna need somebody. You know what I'm saying? And listen, don't.
So I think they're trying. That's what they're trying to build. Kuzma. They're trying to build. I think. Let me get it
Okay.
out. Let me
Okay.
get it
Say it.
out.
Say
Let
it.
me get it
Okay.
out.
Okay.
I think. I don't know if it's be as successful as they foresaw it to be, because personally, I
Mm-hmm.
think Kuzma should have went in the trade with Lonzo, and we should have kept Bi. I feel like Bi would have been so much more of a better fit. And yes, I'm biased because I love me some Brandon Ingram, but it's like I just feel like with his length and the way, like he hoops, like
Oh yeah,
Bi
facts.
hoops,
He
like
does.
especially now when I watch games with him on the Pelicans, I be like, damn, like why
But
did we trade him?
because the Pelicans wasn't gonna go for that. Kuz
Yeah,
thinks that he has to score, like
yeah,
he has to score. Even if you are the third option, what I'm saying is you don't have to average 20 to 25 a night. What I'm
yeah.
saying is you can be cool with your 10, grab you 12 boards, maybe dish out 7, 8 assists, and be that guy that what I'm saying they can lean on. If Kuz were to say, you know what, let me help with other ways, I think it would just be a little bit better because now Kuz is just like, man, I'm shooting. No matter what shot,
Every time
any
I touch the
shot, I'm
ball,
shoot,
I'm
I'm
shooting.
shooting.
I'm
Like,
shooting. I don't
and
care. I'm
yeah,
taking the shot.
exactly. And that's just not. I don't know if that's conducive because Kuz is such a streaky scorer. Because one
Yeah.
night he'll have 28, the next night Kuz will go, fucking 7 of 19 for 8 points. You like Kuz, like what the hell? You got 8 points on 7 shot. Like, so it's just like I think if Kuz were to learn and really solidify his role as the third option or be that glue guy that you guys need, like a Draymond Green or something. Granted, I understand Kuz will never have the defensive prowess of Draymond Green, but if you play some defense, grab some boards, dish out some assists, that's just as helpful as you scoring 28, 30, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think that will come with growth and maturity because he's only been in the league for 3-4
Mm-hmm.
years. And
Exactly. Yeah, no,
yeah, so
understandable.
that's I think that'll come. And I really like I like our pickup that we got with Mark Gasol. I think that was a huge for us because yes, even though AD is tall, he is nobody's five.
That's a
So
fact.
we needed some, like we need, and I feel like we just need another big because we really need like a post presence, like because we have LeBron, obviously that's he's
Mm-hmm.
LeBron. And side note, I used to hate tweet LeBron so much. And the fact,
It's because you're a Kobe fan. That's why.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
why you're
yeah,
such a
that's all it
Kobe
is.
diehard fan. That of
I
course.
I used to hate like back in Destiny always used to she always tell me like, when did you start liking LeBron? Because I remember there was a time where you hated like the taking my talents to South Beach. I
Yeah.
hated LeBron. Oh man. But that's because it was a conspiracy for the Lakers not to win, and that's why
Well, of
the Chris Paul
course.
trade didn't go
Of
through.
course.
And they
Yeah.
just didn't
The
want
Chris
Chris
Paul
Paul
trade.
and Kobe to be that dominant on the same team. And you can't tell me otherwise. Like you
No,
cannot tell me
listen,
they did not
listen.
stop that trade from
I
going through.
Of course they did, but see, it's because people that like are in depth, they don't know. Like, remember, the reason why that trade did not go through was because technically the NBA owned the Hornets at the time, so David Stern was able to make that decision. That's why that trade did not go through and stuff like that. So, but you're
Also,
absolutely right. You're
David
absolutely
Stern
right.
wanted to pass the torch and have LeBron win, and that's why he went with Bosh and D Wade. Anyway, we can get off that. I love LeBron now. I respect his game. We can get off of it, but I just had to get that out. But so
I got you.
LeBron, but I think my Lakers are gonna be all right. We need a post
So,
presence. I don't see nobody in the West beating us, like not for real. Not I mean regular season games, it's whatever.
mm-hmm,
But storied franchises like the Los Angeles Lakers, Golden State Warriors of old,
mm-hmm.
and things like that, they don't, the regular season counts, but it's like we're not playing for the regular season. It's like what happens in the regular season don't matter. I don't care if we
That's
the
not how
eighth
you're
seed in the
measured.
playoffs, right? If we the eighth seed in the playoffs, or if we, you know what I'm saying, the first seed, we gonna be in the playoffs and we're gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? We're
It's a
gonna
fact.
make it. Like
100%.
the only team I see giving us a little bit of issues just from last night, just watching. Did you watch the Blazers Mavericks game last night?
I did. I was flipping back and forth between that, and I was also watching the Jazz game too.
Dude, like when I tell you that I love Dame so
Hmm.
much,
You
like
do.
his
You are
game,
you
oh
are a
my
big Dame
God.
fan.
I love Damian Lillard.
Hmm.
Like Melo was hooping last night. Like that was a good ass game. And I can see Portland giving us some issues because they gave us a little bit of issues in the playoffs. This past playoffs when we played them in the first round. Obviously we beat them
Hmm.
because, LeBron. But
Hmm.
like they gave us, and I think Melo was still getting into the swing of things, but I feel like if they were playing in the bubble like they've been playing this season, they definitely would have took us to like 7 games. Like I fully, so I see the in the West, I see the Blazers being an issue. Obviously the Nuggets are an issue. Um and probably just the Mavericks.
If I'm gonna be honest, I think you're overlooking that team out in Utah. Listen,
I,
I
they gotta show me a little bit
listen. I
more.
remember last year when they went to the bubble. Remember, Bonovich did not come. Remember, he was not. He
Right.
didn't come. So that's a 20 points a night score that they were missing. Now that they're back together, listen, Michael Conley has been playing a lot better. Donovan Mitchell clearly is that fucking
Obviously, he's
dude. You
Donovan
know what I'm
Mitchell.
saying?
Yeah, he's that
Donovan
nigga.
Mitchell is
Yeah.
that dude. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Clarkson is looking real good coming off the bench. I mean, he's my front runner for 6 man of the year right now. I mean, Clarkson is looking real good. I
Yeah, he
mean, Ingles
does.
is still playing. I mean, Rudy's Rudy. So listen, the Jazz and what's it? Quinn Snyder, I think is their coach. Really good coach. So they have a solid team. Now again, I need to see that in the playoffs. I'm not saying that they don't have
Exactly.
playoff experience. They do
Exactly.
have playoff, but when the playoffs come, we know it's a different type of basketball,
It's a
especially
different type of basketball.
especially out in the West. Seeding is going to be very important, especially in the West. Listen, and man, shout out to the Suns too. I did not see the Suns,
Yeah,
boy.
who
Man, the
knew?
Suns. The
Who
fuck? First
knew?
off, first off, you might be right. Chris Paul really might have took y'all niggas to 4 straight finals because boy, this nigga is old as a nigga took OKC to the playoffs last year and got the Suns in the 4th seed, bro.
Self
Nigga,
by himself.
the Suns had now. Well, hold on, that nigga Book, that
I'm
light
talking about
skinned
last year. I'm
nigga.
talking about last year.
Okay, okay,
I'm
last year,
talking about,
last
yeah,
year.
I'm talking about
Oh
last year.
yeah,
I'm talking
last
about
year. Okay,
OKC.
I'll
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
that
No,
that
not
light
now. I'm talking
skinned
about last
nigga.
year.
That light skinned nigga with that hair up, boy. That nigga, that nigga cold. That
Yeah.
nigga Devin Booker. That's a cold nigga
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
bro, listen, shouts out to CP3, man. Listen, that nigga's doing
Yeah,
his fucking thing.
I really want it for CP3, but I don't want
I'm
it for
good for it.
CP3 more than I want the Lakers to win. So
Well,
if he
of
never
course.
wins a championship in his career, like
So I got a question. Funny thing that you mentioned that. So why do you think because again, LeBron and CP3, I mean, they're the godfather to each other's children. He's one of his best friends in the NBA. He's the leader of the President's Association, and LeBron is the vice president. Like for somebody so close, how come there wasn't more CP3 to the Lakers talk? Especially in the
I
off season.
think
Like, why do you think so? Why do you think that?
I think because, and this is strictly
Mm-hmm.
basketball, like personal lives aside, I
Mm-hmm.
think game wise, they don't mesh. They're not compatible with the way that they play their games. I don't, I like CP3 as a point guard. I like LeBron
Mm-hmm.
as a LeBron because LeBron
Okay.
plays every position. But I think
Mm-hmm.
because LeBron plays every position,
Mm-hmm.
and most people can take a seat and let LeBron run point and that'll be fine for them. I think CP3 is such a point guard purist that it wouldn't mesh. It wouldn't go together. And then I also feel like I don't know who I would get to even coach a LeBron CP3 team, because you got to have like specific, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think they're compatible basketball wise. That's just my personal opinion. I think a Kobe CP3 team would have been unstoppable. You know, RIP to the GOAT.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you. The reason being is because, again, when I'm putting everything into my mind and I'm looking at it in its totality, right? Again, LeBron has always spoken about how he wants to play off the ball. He wants the ball less in his hand. And I think, again, Chris Paul is the truest form of a point guard. You know what I'm saying?
Aside from Rondo.
Of course, yes, the truest form of a pass first point guard, right? And not only that, CP3 is a closer. You see what I'm saying? And not only that, he can work well with LeBron and AD off the pick and roll, but LeBron James still plays a lot of the primary point guard. Whereas if you had CP3, you know what I'm saying, you could even have LeBron sit down. You know what I'm saying? Because if you see a lot of the times, like, you know, it's rare that LeBron and AD both go to the bench, because where's your primary scoring going to come from? You know, maybe if Kuz has a hot hand, but you know, how often is that? So that's you see LeBron playing and LeBron hasn't even missed a game yet. I'm actually surprised. I can't even believe it. He's playing such high minutes. I mean, it wasn't just a couple games ago. Y'all went back-to-back 3 OTs in a row. It's like, you know, LeBron is playing these high minutes. I just feel like if you had CP3, right, LeBron could actually sit down. And I think LeBron would be comfortable sitting down because he respects CP3's game so much. And I'm just thinking, like, if LeBron was like, yo, hey, you know what I'm saying, hey, Bus family, what's Rob Pelinka, hey, you know, CP3's out there. I just feel like if LeBron said it, I feel like it would have happened. But then again, I don't know, maybe CP3 might not have wanted to play with LeBron.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
For me, I hear what you're saying about LeBron and what he says, but from what LeBron says and what LeBron does, it's totally different, because you talk about pass first point guards. Rondo is definitely a pass first point guard. He could have played off the ball when Rondo was the point guard of the Lakers, but he still didn't. He still facilitated. He still, you know what I'm saying? He still didn't. He still did that. So it's like, you can say you want one thing, but I think when he locks in and goes in game mode, it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we want versus what the reality of the situation is. And I think, I also think that there's like rumors that like Chris Paul is not very well liked around the league. So you don't want to ruffle feathers in your own locker room, because you can tell teams that gel and have pure chemistry, and then you can tell the teams that are kind of just forced. Kind of like, and I'm a transition with this, how the Brooklyn Nets were pre-Kyrie. They were just young, fun-loving, just like playing, doing well, you know what I'm saying? Just a nice, young, up-and-coming team. And then you bring in Kyrie Irving, and then
that situation in Brooklyn is just, again, and my thing is just like, yeah, we know the offense is going to be spectacular. It's the defense that is the issue.
And defense wins championships.
100%.
Offense wins games. Defense wins championships.
100%. And it's just tough when you get into a series and you say, you know what? We're going to score 125 points, right? But our opponent might score 126. Like, I'm taking it back a bit because you are a historian. I mean, we understand why those Suns teams never made it past that. Now, you can say, you know, what's the name? Hip checked Steve Nash, and that was the reason that they lost. We'll give you that year. But I'm just saying, Mike D'Antoni has never coached defense. Steve Nash was won back-to-back MVPs playing that style and stuff. And then now they're on the same coaching staff. I just don't know what people expected. Of course, Brooklyn's defensive is not going to be. And then you had to let go of Allen, LeVert. I mean, Dinwiddie's
all of
still
your
there.
defenders.
All of your defenders. Prince, Torian Prince. Like, these are people that can actually play defense. And KD and Kyrie said, "Hey, can you also bring DeAndre Jordan? All right, cool. We can find 17 for him." You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it was. DeAndre Jordan is not of old. And even back then, he wasn't necessarily a rim protector. He was a high flyer. So it's just
Right.
like they have no type of interior defense. They're going to, continue to get punished. And in my honesty, because I'm actually, sir, I want to hear who you got coming out the East. But my preseason pick was Philly. And the reason why it was Philly was just because I just felt Doc Rivers was going to bring an entirely, I feel like he was going to make Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid work. And I didn't even, think about Joel Embiid playing at an MVP level. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I just don't think they can beat Philly. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think they can beat Philly in a 7-game series. And also too, I wouldn't, sleep on Boston either. But I mean,
Yeah.
Boston, that's something entirely. You feel me? But yeah, listen, I just don't see them beating Philly with no type of interior presence. Who's gonna handle Joel Embiid?
Nobody.
Jeff Green. You got Jeff Green playing the 5. Like, come on now, that's crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. Like with I have always said Kyrie Irving is overrated. And the reason I say he's overrated is because Kyrie Irving has done nothing post LeBron.
Mhm.
When they both were on the Cavs and LeBron wouldn't play, LeBron would sit out the games, and it was Kyrie to run the team when LeBron was sitting out. They lost every single one of those games. When he went to Brooklyn was struggling until Kyrie got hurt, and then they were playing without him, and then they made it to the playoffs. What do you bring it? What do you? I'm trying to sell me on the hype. What's the hype?
Right.
What is the hype behind Kyrie? Because aside from riding on LeBron's coattail, what have you done?
Okay, so let me just first and foremost say, so again, in my personal, Kyrie is a specialist. Okay, he scores the basketball. That's what Kyrie does. Now, when it comes to the other, what's the word I'm looking for? When it comes to the other intangibles, like for example, you got to understand Kyrie's profile. 11 games for us, if that, or something, and still went number 1 overall. So with that being said, Kyrie's coming in riding high, gets drafted by the Cavs. They were literally in the lottery. They picked 2 more times with Kyrie on the thing, on the squad before LeBron came, claimed to Cleveland. Because remember, a lot of people don't remember, Kyrie signed that extension prior to LeBron making the announcement he's coming to Cleveland. So Kyrie in his mind was thinking that's his team. But see, Kyrie, he thinks that just because you're the best player on the team, that doesn't necessarily make you the leader or the best locker room person just because you're the best person, you're the best player on that team. You see what I'm saying?
When is he the best player on the team? Are you talking about the Cavs
I was
before
talking about
LeBron went
the
back?
Cavs prior. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then even when he went to Boston with the young guys and stuff like that, Kyrie, you might have been the best player, but that doesn't make you the best leader or even in that position to lead.
I forgot he even went to Boston. I forgot, like that blip, like I forgot he even went to Boston.
So Kyrie has to learn, like, because again, what was it? He didn't want to be Robin with LeBron, but now
and
Kyrie
you Alfred.
Exactly.
Robin, and now you Alfred.
But that's what I'm saying. Kyrie, it takes a special kind of player to really be a Batman. You see what I'm saying? Like when it comes to being Batman or being the guy on the team, that's why KD went to Brooklyn. It's because he knew no matter how many championships Kevin Durant won in Golden State, he wasn't Batman per se, or at least in people's eyes, he wasn't Batman. That's Steph Curry. That's Steph Curry's team. He built that in Golden State. So I'm saying you just came, you came along for a ride. Granted, I'm not going to disrespect Kevin Durant. He has 2 finals MVPs. But what I'm saying is, come on, man. You have a 73-win team with Clay, two-time MVP and Steph Curry, Draymond Green, a defensive player of the year. How are y'all gonna lose? How are y'all gonna lose? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like KD wants, you know what? He wants what LeBron has. He wants that adulation to say, you know, I'm the guy. And not only am I the guy, I've been the guy every single time I've won. Not a lot of people can say that. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think that KD is ever going to get that adulation from a societal point. If he wanted that, in my opinion, he should have stayed in OKC. Because the way that you get that this is your team, this admiration, you have to pick a team and you stick with that team. Portland Trailblazers, that's Dame Lillard's team. Ain't nobody. CJ McCollum is there, Melo is there, you know what I'm saying? But that's Dame Lillard's team. Like you said, the what is it? What the Dubs? That's Steph Curry's team. You know what I mean? Like the Lakers were Kobe's team. Like unless you're LeBron, to wherever you go, that's your team. But I could go on and on. The Heat, Dwayne Wade. You know what I'm saying? Like these names are synonymous with these teams, and that's why they get the credit that they're due. Just like I feel like I wish Blake Griffin would have stayed with the Clippers. Because then that would have, you know what I'm saying? That would have like built him different. And now, he's taking off ball shots on the three and just, I don't know what he's doing over there in Detroit, but
he's working on he's working on his perimeter game. Okay. And first off, Jeremy Grant, he a little he budding. My man hooping. Jeremy Grant, listen, came from the Nuggets. I don't know. I kind of questioned. I said, I don't know why the fuck he going for leaving Denver, a great situation to come to Detroit. But he says he wants his own team. He wants to be the guy. So, hey, listen, I'm not going.
Yeah, like even Denver, that was Melo's team, That's like, you have to prove that you can take a trash team and bring them to the highest place. Unless the only person that doesn't apply to is Kobe, because the Lakers were already, you know what I'm saying, established by the time he didn't get drafted, by the time he got traded to the Lakers.
And what's crazy is that I forgot, like I didn't even think y'all signed Shaq. The Shaq trade was prior to them drafting to them getting Kobe. I forgot that. I thought Kobe was there, and I thought Shaq didn't come till 98. I'm tripping. Shaq for that draft. I was like, yeah, I didn't even remember that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I just think like
Oh, no, I was just gonna say real quick. If it's one thing that the Lakers are good at, is taking a quality player off the Magic, milking them for everything they got, and trading them.
That's a fact.
The Lakers will take a Magic big man like nobody's business. It's so sad. It's so sad. But
that is a fact. Well, yeah, it's just like you said, like, again, being that guy on a championship team, like I said, it just puts you on a different, you know what I'm saying, on like a different plateau. So, but yeah, I just think like in Brooklyn, again, I'm worried about the defense. What is the defense going to look like, especially in the playoffs? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, especially when you're going to have to buckle down and stuff. Again, teams are not just going to let you, where you're going to have to play defense, set up.
Half-court basketball.
Exactly.
That's the thing. And any James Harden team, and that was the problem. That was the problem overall to me with the Rockets. Because everybody's like, oh, James Harden this, James Harden that. He went for 60, 57. Oh, he's scoring this, he's scoring that. It's like, yeah, but he's still going to get knocked out the playoffs in the second round because he doesn't play defense. He can have as many 60-point regular season games as he wants, but that doesn't mean shit if you're not going to make it. And everybody, they're so hyped because on paper, Kyrie, I don't know why, but KD and James Harden look good on paper, but the depth is not there, and also the defense is not there. So it's gonna blow up in their face because when you come, they'll make the playoffs. they'll make the playoffs. I will never disrespect KD and say that if any team that he's on is not going to make the playoffs. I will never do that. They'll make the playoffs, but they'll get knocked out in the second round.
Yeah, I don't know about the second round. They might make the Eastern Conference, right? Because like I said, I'm just looking at the East.
Depending on the seeding, they because Eastern Conference Finals, I'm looking at Philly versus Boston. That's my Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, what about Milwaukee?
You heard what I said.
Okay. Okay. Damn. Good job. I mean, I got Philly coming out the East. Now, who they play?
Who you got them playing?
I'll probably have Brooklyn. They'll beat those other teams. Like they'll beat the bottom of the Eastern Conference. I don't know who's in the bottom right now. Charlotte. You know what I'm saying?
Let me pull it up. I'm gonna pull up the
standing
right now. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the standings right now.
If I'm not mistaken, I think maybe Charlotte is down there.
Okay, so for the Eastern Conference, you got the Raptors are at 8. Knicks are at 7.
The Knicks? Oh hell no! Not the fucking Knicks! Oh hell no! The Knicks?
Yo, the genuine shock in my face. It's Toronto at 8. The New York Knicks at 7. Charlotte Hornets at number 6.
Damn. Wow.
Charlotte Hornets at number 6. Boston's at 5. Pacers are at 4. Brooklyn's at 3. Milwaukee's at 2. And Philly is at number 1.
Oh shit! Listen, Detroit, we're at number
Knicks
14.
Is at number 7.
Detroit's at 14. We're not at the bottom no more. Yay! We're at 14. Yeah. Put some respect on Detroit name, bro. Detroit at 14. Okay.
Y'all ain't been good since Rip Hamilton stopped playing. Ever since Rip Hamilton beat Kobe, man, y'all lost it.
Hold on, don't be disrespectful. 1, Chauncey Billups won Finals MVP that year. 2, we did make the playoffs 3 years ago. That first year with Blake, but he was hurt, and we got swept by the Milwaukee Bucks. But we made it. So I go
back to say y'all ain't been good since you proved my point. Like the Pistons was loaded at one point. It was like I was like, man, there was a juggernaut at one point with Ben, Rasheed, Rip,
Tayshaun
Prince, Chauncey Billups. Oh my, it was crazy.
Billups.
It was crazy. That was a team. That was a team. Yeah. That was a monster. There was the Monstars. Like that was
exactly. That was a team. Well, defensively, especially, you know what I'm saying? Some of the best defensive basketball you've seen. Nigga, Larry Brown had them boys playing.
Wild. Their half-court game was admirable. That era, that's good basketball. People always talk about old basketball in the 80s, in the 90s was real basketball. Early 2000s basketball.
Listen, 2010. Listen, was still very valid.
Basketball. I can't believe the Knicks is at number 7 though. That's crazy to me.
Bro, the Knicks. I can't even fucking believe
that's
that
wild.
Shit. Nigga, and Charlotte is at 6, man. Listen, you got LaMelo, Rookie of the Year.
Yes. LaMelo is hooping.
That boy can hoop.
LaMelo is hooping.
That boy is a hooper.
If he don't win Rookie of the Year, it's because they hate LeVar Ball.
Oh man, listen, that boy LaMelo is a hooper.
And he talks shit, and I love it. I love it because he knows he's good. I love it. Why be humble? For what? Be humble for what? The nigga hoop.
Listen,
I'm loving it.
He might bring the tough light skinned niggas back. You know what I'm saying? You know y'all niggas. What I'm saying? Y'all niggas been down for a little minute. You know, dark skinned nigers been winning, but you know what I'm saying.
Listen
but maybe
to the
him
colorism episode 3. Black.
Oh yeah, facts. I heard about that. You know what I'm saying. We was talking about it. I heard about you know what I'm saying, Shorty and you talking about, you know, colors. I gotta see what she looked like. You know what I'm saying. I didn't even know.
I put her Instagram in the I put her Instagram in the title. Yeah.
I'm gonna go check her Instagram.
Yeah, you know Go check her out on Instagram.
I'm gonna check her out. Yeah, colorism. Listen, but them light skinned niggas, boy, they be motherfucking who? Bam.
Western Conference standings. We have Golden State at number 8. We got Denver at 7. We got the Spurs. Now, one thing the Spurs is gonna do is be in the top 8 in the West.
Oh
They
yeah,
never
no,
make
for
no
sure.
noise. They don't. You don't hear nothing. But they gonna make the playoffs. If they don't
That's a
do nothing
fact.
else, the Spurs is gonna make the playoffs, and that's respectable.
No,
Um,
that's a fact. Big up to Pop,
again,
man.
Portland, my babies, my second favorite basketball team. Portland is at number 5. We got the Phoenix Suns, like we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
came out of nowhere, and they're at number 4.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are they hooping, they're in the top 5 in the West. Like
That's crazy.
it's wild
That's a
to even think
fact.
about.
That is a
And
fact.
then we got the Clippers, who
Mm-hmm.
they ain't gonna do nothing. Um, and
Listen,
then we
they
got the Lakers
are
at 2.
hooping though.
Okay. The Lakers at 2, and the we got Utah at number
You
1.
know,
Here's the thing about the Clippers. I'm really glad that Paul George didn't come to the Lakers. I was so adamant about him being able to be traded to the Lakers, and I'm so glad that he didn't. Patrick Beverly is holding that team together, and
Trick Beverly. Yo, y'all Lakers fans, y'all niggas are disrespectful when it comes to the
and
Clips, bro.
this is what Kawhi
Yeah,
gets for not coming to the Lakers, man. This is what you get.
well, and it's funny because I was gonna say earlier, I was gonna say, listen, you heard it here first. I just want to let you know that, mind you, remember, Paul George signed his extension. Remember, him and Kawhi had the same year. They had the 2 plus the option. They both had 3-year deals. Paul George has already signed. Kawhi has not signed, and I think it's because Kawhi is saying to himself, listen, if they get shut out again, like let's say they lose, to fucking Phoenix or Portland, they lose again in the second round, don't make the Western Conference Finals, I think Kawhi is out of there, if I'm be honest. And you know where I think he's going? Right across the street, if I'm be honest with you. I think he might go right across the street. Reason
Hot take,
being,
you heard it here. Not that
listen, you heard it
problematic.
here first. That this might be probably. I think Kawhi is because I got you. I heard all the shit. Kawhi said he didn't want to play with LeBron. He wants to beat LeBron. They almost fucking lost to Dallas in the first round. They almost didn't even make it to the second round to lose, because if Porzingis didn't get thrown out of that first game, the Mavericks probably would have won that game. They already took them 6. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't remember that the Clippers almost lost in the first round, but I think it'll just be too much of a blow to them if they lose again. Like they don't even make the Western Conference Finals and they lose in the first or the second round. I think Kawhi is going to leave because I think he's going to say, you know what, I can't here. I think he's going to the Lakers if they lose.
They will not make it to the Western Conference Finals.
We shall see.
They will not, because of the fact. Again, let me rephrase that, because I don't know how I feel personally about Patrick Beverly as like a person, but as a defender, you're not. He's gonna stop you. Like the nigga's defense he's all defense. You know what I'm saying? Like first team, all defense. Like there's no question in that. And if Paul George chokes in the playoffs again, as he does in the playoffs, because that's just his MO at this point, him, James Harden, Kyrie Irving. Anyway, the list goes on. If he chokes in the playoffs again, why would Kawhi stay? Like, you're bringing me down. Now, I ain't gonna say that Kawhi can't do it by himself, because we saw with Toronto, even though he wasn't by himself, but we saw with Toronto, like Kawhi he can make some shit shake, because Kawhi Leonard is just like a freaking, I don't even know the word to describe.
So hold on. So that's what I was privying back to. Remember when I talked about Kyrie and the other intangibles? Remember, Kawhi Leonard was the best player on that team, but he was not the leader. Kyle Lowry was the leader of the Toronto Raptors. You see,
because that's his team.
Exactly. Kawhi didn't have to play that role. So that's what I'm saying. See, Kyrie, again, he's a specialist. We know what he can do on the court. But when it comes to being a locker room guy or being a leader, or, I'm saying, being that veteran presence, because, Kyrie's a veteran now, so he's a champion. Having that veteran presence, that's completely something different. You see what I'm saying? So champion, he is a champion. He hit the shot, or excuse me. He hit a shot. Sorry.
He was on LeBron's team when LeBron took the key leaving. Let's not forget. What's the white boy's name? What's
Matthew
his name?
Dellavedova?
He's also an NBA champion. Luke Walton is also an NBA champion 2 times. There's NBA champions out here. But no, I talk a lot of trash about Kyrie. It's only because I don't get it. Like I feel like he was so hyped up around Duke with like the way he played with Duke, and he got to the NBA. It's just the hype for him to get, all the hype around when he got drafted to Cleveland, and then Cleveland's success was like kind of excused, because he's a rookie, so obviously, blah blah blah. And then you come in, and I think it was the next year, that's when LeBron came back, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Kyrie got drafted, and he was there for 4 years before LeBron. He got drafted the same year that he went to the Heat.
And that's my thing. It's like the Cavs didn't make no noise. Wasn't nobody. The most anybody was talking about Kyrie was when he was Uncle Drew for the Sprite commercials, and for that movie he made with Lil Rel. So it's like all of that hype, and then LeBron comes back, and now it's Kyrie and LeBron. When really, to me, it's like LeBron and the Cavs. Because to me, and I'm gonna say it, and y'all can disagree, you can feel however you want, but it's like, to me, Tristan Thompson, Iman Shumpert, Kyrie Irving, same contribution to that championship.
That's a little disrespectful, Mr. Burn. I mean, Kyrie did have 41 in Game 7. I mean,
how many shots did he? How many shots? 41 off how many?
I'm probably 20-something shots, if I'm being honest. I don't have the stats off the top of my head, but I remember he had 41. I listen, I get what you're saying, but can we agree? Kyrie was the second best player on that team. On that 2016 championship team, Irving was the second best player.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, the man can shoot, the man can dribble. I'm not gonna take that away. I'm not gonna take that away from him. Yeah, and his Euro step is otherworldly. It's otherworldly. Something like we only see. It's very special, very very special.
Listen, I understand where your frustrations come or originate from, but I understand what Kyrie did. So, but before you do, so who you got in the finals and how many games?
I personally am calling Lakers Celtics.
Lakers Celtics, another Lakers Celtics finals.
Lakers Celtics finals, and with the healthy AD. I'm calling the Lakers in 6 or 7. 6, 7. Lakers in 7.
6.
With the healthy AD. This is all because the way the team fell apart last night when AD went down was very, very troubling. Yeah, I got Lakers Celtics. What about you?
I got Lakers Philly.
Lakers Philly.
I got Lakers. Lakers in 6. Just because it's just gonna be too much. Like Philly, again, they don't know how to win. They do have a championship head coach, but it's gonna take a little bit more. I don't know if Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, they'll be ready to be on that brighter stage.
Yeah, that stage. So, yeah.
So
I think Ben Simmons still has he has like not unlike Kyle Kuzma. They still have some maturing to do and just find their footing. I think once Ben Simmons finds his rhythm. I know a lot of people talk about his lack of ability to shoot, but you also talked about intangibles, and I feel like Ben Simmons possesses a lot of those. And once he hones in on those skills
100%.
and gets a decent shot, it's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be something. To see.
Listen, he's gonna be ridiculous. If he just develops any type of perimeter game,
a little bit,
ridiculous.
Just a little bit.
Anything, just anything, he'll be nasty. But in all honesty, though, I think what's probably gonna have to happen is a lot of those supplementary players are really gonna have to step up. Your Tobias Harris, your Seth Curry, Danny Green again in the fucking finals. No, listen, y'all gonna have to step the fuck up and shit like that. Like,
how many championships does Danny Green have?
3 chips. Spurs, Toronto, Lakers.
This man, I can't hate it.
And he also has a national championship with the Tar Heels too. What, 2010? I think 2010, right?
I
Yeah,
can't hate it.
bro.
It's
That nigga Danny Green. Hey, he got some jewelry now. That
yeah,
nigga got
man.
some jewelry.
I can't hate it
That
because
nigga
the
got
thing
some
about
jewelry.
Danny Green, the thing about Danny Green, it's like it's like what they say about Jesus. He may not come when you want him,
That's a
but he's
fact.
on time. Like
Exactly, bro. Listen,
like
because I know last year when y'all thought y'all was closing out the Heat in 5 and the Mamba jerseys, and Danny Green had that wide open 3. I already knew you was cussing. You know.
I was throwing threes.
Damn.
But to transition, we talked a lot of NBA. We have definitely done that. But I want to transition, not to
Mhm,
talk about football per se as like the whole season, because obviously it's over. Brady the
mhm,
GOAT has done it again.
mhm. Again.
Um what do you foresee for Tampa Bay, and just like how do you feel about Brady changing teams and just coming in and just being like, y'all thought it was the Brady and Belichick
Mm,
show, but
mm.
let me let y'all know that I
Yo.
fucking do this.
Mhm.
So like, what are your thoughts
Well,
on that?
definitely, I was definitely one of those people that gave a little bit more credit to Bill Belichick than I did Tom Brady, just for the simple fact is that Bill Belichick, he implemented that system and things of that nature. But then I slowly start to realize that Tom Brady is that system. And not only that, listen, don't get me wrong, Bill had to teach Tom things, Tom had to teach Bill things too, but Tom took everything that he learned and that entire thing and brought it down to Tampa, and it really like it clicked. After that bye week, they were a lot of people they were 7-5. What I'm saying, after that bye week, they had the last bye week of the thing, and they went undefeated the whole rest of the way. What I'm saying, and beat some pretty good teams. I mean, I didn't think they were gonna get past my boy Rodgers. You know how the
We
biggest
know
Aaron Rodgers. Oh, everybody know I love me some Aaron Rodgers, boy.
that's a
But
bad man, ain't it?
that's a bad man. Listen, that's my dog. But listen, Tom Brady is that fucking deal. And I pick, bro, every single time I pick against Tom Brady, I lose. And then when I pick Tom Brady, they lose. So I'm just done, bro. I gotta stop picking against this nigga, bro, because I say, Patrick Mahomes gonna do it. No, Pat, bro. And I'm just like, bro, this nigga Brady can't fucking lose. So listen, man, shouts out to Brady, man. He the GOAT.
So I just got into football, and I guess it's been 2012. When did Cap? Yeah, whenever Cap got to San Francisco, so
Mm-hmm.
2012.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I got into football. And the reason I'm a 40, everybody asks like, "Oh, you from LA? How are you a 49ers fan?" This is how it was when I got into football. I was living in
Mm-hmm.
Tallahassee, and I said, "Okay, I wanna be into football," and they were 3-3. So I was like, okay, they're 3-3, and then boom, 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 NFC
Mm.
champion, Super Bowl, like all of
That's
that. So, and that just solidified me being a 49ers fan. Now I'm ride or
mm-hmm.
die. But one thing logic always teach me is you never bet against the best person in the league. No
Mm-hmm.
matter
Okay.
how much I hate LeBron,
Mm-hmm.
the only time I would bet against LeBron is if LeBron went against Kobe.
Mm.
That's the only time I was betting against LeBron. Any other time, I'm always voting for LeBron. If
That's
it's
a fact.
if Brady is on the field, if his cleats are touching the turf, I'm going for Brady. like, and
I thought Tom Brady was when he said he wanted to play to 45. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. Tom Brady played till he was 45, and he's fucking defying all of that. He said, all right,
everything.
Rich. He said, all right, Rich. I'm gonna show you some shit. It
I think
comes.
he keeps playing. I think he keeps playing because everybody keeps saying that he can't go one more year.
Well, and I think he genuinely loves the game, and he loves to win. I mean, clearly, this
He's
man.
good at
Listen.
it. He's like, oh, he's the greatest athlete of all time. So now that's like all of the
Mhm.
conversation surrounding Tom Brady. I just feel like he's the best at what he does.
No, yeah, no, for sure. It's
And it's
hard to say the best athlete of all time because in my mind, I probably think the best athlete of all time probably Serena Williams. If we're going in totality of everything, just being completely honest, you know what I'm saying, is Serena Williams. And usually, don't get me wrong, a lot of people like to denigrate women's sports, but what she's done in her particular sport versus what everybody else has done, it's not even close. And it's still, you know what I'm saying, like she's still going. So it's just crazy.
as a black
Mm-hmm.
woman,
Mm-hmm.
I love black women. I will
Mm-hmm.
never say anything disparaging about black women.
Mm-hmm. That's a
Serena
fact.
Williams is from Compton,
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Inglewood, you know. I would call Serena the best female athlete
Mm-hmm.
of all time. I would not call Serena Williams the best overall athlete of all time, only because before y'all come for me,
Oh yeah,
the only
it's
reason I'm saying this
problematic.
whew, is
Yeah.
because even she said that if she played tennis against the male, that like the top men's tennis players, she
Mm-hmm.
already said herself out of
Mm-hmm.
her mouth that she
Mm-hmm.
could not beat them.
Got you.
So you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So she's the best woman athlete, the
Mm-hmm.
best, you know what I'm saying? But I would say, and then I also don't think that individual sports and team sports can be
So
compared on
now,
that
yeah,
list
got you.
because you
Understandable.
can have like the best individual sport athlete because they do it all by themselves, but then you have
Mm.
the best team sport athlete because you have to know what it's like to work in a unit
Of
and be
course,
able
of course.
to do your job and elevate everybody else into doing their jobs. The only person Serena has to worry about is Serena.
That's a
Floyd
fact.
Mayweather has been thrown into the conversation. He only has to worry about
Mm-hmm.
Floyd Mayweather and what's he doing to better himself
That's a
as a
fact.
boxer or a tennis player, but or Tiger Woods
Mm-hmm.
as a golfer. But when it comes to people like LeBron, when it comes to people like Tom Brady,
Mm-hmm.
and whoever the baseball and hockey goats are,
Mm-hmm.
you have to know how to work in a unit. And if you don't know how to
Mm-hmm.
work in a unit and elevate the people around you, like
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay, when Jameis Winston, shout out to Florida State, was the
Mm-hmm.
coach, um, I'm not the coach, the quarterback, it was
Mm-hmm.
trash. Nobody believed in themselves. There was no their team morale. You could tell when you watched them play. It was like watching JV football on a Friday night. But as soon as Tom Brady got there, it's kind of like dang, okay, I can all right, like
Yeah, fast.
let me build myself up to be on the level that this person is because I know what they're bringing to the table. So I'm
That's a
going to play
fact.
my best game and set myself up to be the best. So I feel like people are calling him the greatest athlete because when you, and it's about to get real corny and real deep, but when
Mm-hmm.
you can inspire people around you to be the best version of themselves,
Mm-hmm.
to me, that is the definition of the greatest goat because you
Mm-hmm.
have everybody like throws out the word goat, but
Mm-hmm.
to be the greatest at something, you have to be the best at what you do, and then you have to pull everybody else the best out of them and what they
Mm-hmm.
do. And then once y'all are the best together, it's like Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I could see if he went.
Crazy.
I could see if he went to like the Niners. You know what I'm saying? And they made it back,
They were
or
talking about that. They
if
was
he
talking
went
about that.
to that would have been great. Or if he went to what's another good team? What's Russell? The
The
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Mm-hmm.
Or you know what I'm saying? Like a team that just needed that extra boom. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But he took a team that was at the bottom of the NFL damn near.
Well, I wouldn't say they were at the bottom. Remember, they were 7-9 last year. So I mean, they were only 2 games out the playoffs, 9-7. So I
You don't make the
mean,
playoffs, don't matter.
I
But
listen.
damn
Oh no,
near
I
like,
got it. I
and
got
it's
it.
like
No, I got what you.
when was the last time the Bucks even made it to an NFC championship?
Oh, 2002 when they won the Super Bowl. That was it. That's the last
Exactly.
time. Yeah.
Warren Sapp, right? He was still playing for them.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
So,
man.
but my family, it's a lot of Tampa Bay Bucks fans, and
Mm-hmm.
on my mom's side of the family because they're from
Mm-hmm.
Central Florida,
Gotcha.
and so that's how I know about Warren Sapp. But
Gotcha.
and I know he was like a champion or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, you take a team like that who has not seen. It's almost been 20 years since the last
Mm-hmm.
time they seen,
That's a
you know what I'm
fact.
saying, like the Super
Anything.
Bowl or anything. So
Yeah.
it's like when you can do that, that's the
Mm-hmm.
definition of greatness.
That's a
Kawhi
fact right
Leonard,
there.
Kawhi Leonard, going to the Raptors
Mm-hmm.
and bringing them and winning the championship with them. That's the definition of greatness. LeBron going to the Cavs and winning the championship with them, that's the definition of greatness. But
That's a fact.
KD going to the Warriors.
It's tough. It's tough. You have to look at other things, and that's why I say, you know,
There's
KD.
greats, and then there's people who are good at what they do.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? There's a room in the Hall of Fame, and then there's a separate room. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got the Hall of Fame is here, but then certain players have like a different key. You know what I'm saying? That goes into a different room. You feel me?
So, so it's like I don't know. I could go on about it. I love basketball. I don't know how I turned this football conversation right back around to the NBA. But yeah, man, I just feel. And with that being said, thank you so much, Moss, for being a part of my podcast. I really, really enjoyed this episode. Tell the people. Tell the people where they can find you. Go ahead, plug your stuff.
Okay, so you already know. Listen, you can find me on all social media platforms at Moss the Big Boss. That's MossDaBigboss. That's me, Moss the Big Boss. I have a weekly podcast, as you can see, Honey and the Monster. You know
they can't see, it's audio only. It's only audio.
Oh shit, I'm tripping. All in the camera.
Honey and the Monster.
Okay, so Honey and the Monster. I'm sure you've heard it on Burton's podcast. Shouted it out before. You know, we definitely already know the vibes with that. So follow me, Honey and the Monster on Instagram, and then also 2 Sports Vibes. Man, take a listen. Got a new episode coming on Sports Vibes. I know. Listen, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me, Burton. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, listen, I'm proud of you. For real, for real. Listen, you good, my nigga. I'm watching it mature. You feel me? So when you blow up and I see Not That Problematic and you got the little shirt on and shit, I'm like, yo, I knew you when you was Lando hype. You know what I'm saying? With the podcast shit. You feel me?
I appreciate it, man. All right, y'all. Thanks for listening, and I appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace out.
All right, peace, man.